The UW Board of Regents is expected to take up a proposal to restructure UW colleges at its meeting later this week. UW System President Ray Cross wants the 13 two-year colleges to become branches of nearby four-year universities. Cross says it's a way to address declining enrollment for the smaller schools while not closing any of those campuses. But some faculty members at the colleges have concerns, and we're talking now with one of them, Jennifer Heinert, who's a professor of English at UW Waukesha. Professor, it's good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I'm happy to be here.
So let's talk about your concerns about this restructuring. Well, what specifically are you concerned about?
Well, I can't speak holistically for everybody, but I think the themes I'm hearing from both my UW colleges colleagues as well as my colleagues in the comprehensive institutions center around a few themes. The first one is obviously students. We want to make sure that the programs, the curriculum, and our offerings are going to continue for our students. The UW College's mission of access is vital to the state. In addition to students, these UW colleges, the 13 that are located in rural communities across the state, are also really key and vital parts of their communities, and we want to see those kinds of relationships continue and continue to grow and evolve as they always have in the last 40 to 50 years, depending on which center you're looking at.
The last point you're making there is about identity. It's about the identity of the institution, the identity of the community.
Exactly. So when we understand that the borders of the university are the borders of the state, for example, we can see that the UW colleges, in partnership with our other institutions, really have created a Wisconsin idea that allows for students to have access to high-quality education regardless of where they're located.
One of the things I hear from faculty members about this restructuring plan is that they feel sort of left out of the process. It is a process issue for them. They feel like they've had no voice in this. Do you share that?
Well, I think that's true. And I think that President Cross hasn't been shy about being very clear that this decision hasn't been made with faculty.
They said that on the show, in fact, that they did not take faculty interests into consideration here.
Correct, and I think that was probably coming from a series of listening sessions that he did across the state a few years ago. He was kind of making the rounds and talking with local leaders. And so I think that does put us in a difficult position because we don't understand what the larger outcome of this is supposed to look like, be. So our concerns and our ability to respond to this potential proposal is extremely limited because we don't have any information to go on. So if we ask a question, the answer is we don't know. We don't know what that is going to look like yet. And there are a range of possibilities. Some of them might be potentially negative, and some of them might be potentially positive.
What is your hope? The board is scheduled to meet later this week. They're expected probably to approve this idea. What is your hope that happens at that meeting and going forward?
Well, I think I'm not a Board of Regents member, and so I come at this from the faculty perspective. My mindset and the way that I make decisions is often based on, make evidence-based decisions, right? Provide me an example of how this is going to look and how this will actually provide benefit to the students both at the comprehensive and UW College's students and to the citizens of the state as a whole. I hope that they have enough information to see that this is a benefit to the state of Wisconsin and that this is a benefit to the UW system. And I hope that they will carefully consider and support a very comprehensive plan to implement something like this that involves multiple levels of stakeholders that come from a variety of institutions.
So moving forward, you want multiple voices involved in that
Absolutely.
process.
And
yeah.
I think that's the best potential we have to make this a success.
Jennifer Heinert is a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Waukesha. It's good to have you on the program today. Thanks very much for being with us. Coming up next on Upfront, Wisconsin lagging and one key business indicator and what's being done to change that.